lectures also, he suddenly from one plane he will start scolding. So it is all good to read Brahma Sutras with Shankaracharya's commentary or without commentary, whatever. But practice. Why are we reading this? What is it? How is it going to change? You see, now if you see, Shankaracharya says that you are equivalent to animals. Shankaracharya says that scriptures are all a bundle of ignorance. That means if you don't practice the ideal of Atman, you are not different from animals. If you don't practice the ideal of Atman, all the books, whatever philosophy, even Swamiji, even Ramakrishna, even everything, is nothing but a bundle of ignorance. In Sanskrit, there is a shloka, Karash Chandana Bharavahi. Bharasya Veta Natu Chandanasya. Kara, a donkey, when it is carrying sandalwood, what does it know? It only knows that this is very heavy. Sandalwood is very heavy. It is Bharasya Veta, Natu Chandanasya. It is not knowing the benefit of sandalwood. It is not knowing the quality of sandalwood. It only knows that it is so heavy. So that we will become like that. If a person who studies something and does not understand the Sara, then we will become just like that. We will be carriers like donkeys. I have read so much. What is the use? See, there are professors who read so much. They read Vedanta, everything. They write theses and they guide research and all that. What is the use? Have you understood that this world is false? As we see it is false. Swami Turiyanandaji, when he was going to Sri Ramakrishna, and for some time he did not come. What are you doing? I am studying Vedanta. What is told there in your Vedanta? Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. This apparent universe is false and the ultimate reality is true. That is what is told. So realize that. Otherwise, you see, Brahma Sutra, reading all these things is not going to. That is the beauty of studies of Vedanta, particularly Advaita Vedanta. At every point of the study, the teacher or the scripture or the text itself will remind you again and again that you are doing something which is useless. Think. But we have to go beyond thought. How is it possible? So there is nothing to compare it with. It's incomparable. So that is why it takes so much of drilling. It takes so much of drilling. Let it be Sri Ramakrishna, Swami Vivekananda, Lord Buddha, Jesus Christ, or Shankaracharya, anybody. So if you read the Bible, actually the essence of Bible you can read in any one of the Gospel. That's all. And if you read 10 lines, you understand, oh, this is Bible. But the Bible is again so many parables, so many hymns, so many illustrations, so many that, this, etc. Why? Because constantly drilling. If you read the Gospel, first 4 pages of Gospel, English edition, I think is the entire gist of Gospel is there in that first 4 pages. Means where the diary starts, not where Mahendranath Gupta is describing Dakshineshwar, but when it starts proper. First 4 pages is sufficient. But is it sufficient for us? It is not. Sri Ramakrishna tells it over and again and again. Everybody, they religiously read Gospel every day, 1 page, and they are reading it for so many years. What happens? Nothing. Because we are so sure. I am happy. By the grace of Sri Ramakrishna, I am happy. I am able to go to my temple. I am able to go to all the retreats, etc. I am able to read the book. I am happy. That is the height of ignorance. That you think that you are not ignorant is the height of ignorance. I am happy. So that is why is Adhyasa Bhashya important? Why is it that we should also read Swamiji's scoldings. Not only just read the pep talk of Swamiji, may not be exact phrase, good phrase to use for Swamiji's utterances, but not read just that which boosts confidence, but also read those lines or those passages or those texts of Swamiji which actually are very caustic. Why? Unless we read them, we don't understand that we are foolish. Unless we read the letters of Swamiji where he scolds left and right, we don't understand that we are completely doing everything foolishly. So that is why this is necessary, Adhyasa Bhashya or anything. If you read some texts like there are many texts written by Shankaracharya, where even in Vivek Chudamani in the beginning, he scolds left and right. That are you not ashamed, etc. Why? Because so that we understand that we are caught up in this causality cycle. We are caught up in the cycle of logic. We are caught up in the mesh of body-mind complex. And that is true. Just think 1 hour. I don't think more. 1 hour every day, if we can practice honestly, believing that I am not the body, I am not the mind. 1 hour. And then we understand how difficult it is. So 1 hour if you have to practice, that means you should not eat, you should not drink, you should not acknowledge the body. Are you getting what I am trying to tell here? You should not acknowledge the body for 1 hour. Even 1 hour, we are in 24 hours, in 1 hour we are not able to. So that third stage will come when we are completely established in the knowledge that I am not the body, I am not the mind. That is the stage. Like it happened with Sri Ramakrishna or other people. So that stage, to attain that stage, we have to go through we have to get lot of beating. Means this comfortable thought process should get lot of beating. You want to add something or correct something or something?
Understood clearly.
No, I'm talking about her. Huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, Maharaj. Actually, I think that the main thing, as you are saying, that if one can...
No Buddhism at all. Buddhism means first you should know that there is dukkha and then there is way out of dukkha. That is Buddhism. So you just trying to package, like Hinduism also, Vedanta also, many people package. Packaging will not do. Anyway, so in Zen Buddhism, first one is taught how to not think, how to go beyond logic, and how to understand that I am not sure. I should not be sure or definite about anything. So that one has to be for years of training, and then it becomes you try to understand that. Are we in our Sanatana Dharma also? It is, for example, for a devotee, Ram ki ichha. Everything is mother's will. What does it mean? That means nothing is your will. Why is it told? What does it mean? Nothing is, even this telling that everything is mother's will, you have to practice, right? So what does it mean that it is not your will? It is definitely your will. The idea is that by saying that it is not your will, you will understand that this definiteness about this universe, this whole causality thing, cause effect, cause becomes cause creates effect, effect becomes cause of the next effect, like that. It's a cycle. So you have to get rid of or go beyond this causality cycle. How will you understand? How will any one of us understand? So for that they say that all this is the wish of Sri Krishna, or all this is wish of mother, etc. And by that you try to get out of the causality cycle, vicious cycle of causality, or you try to get out of the the thing of that I am doing, volition, will, etc. So here the third stage what you are talking about is the stage of realization. It is the stage of knowing one's true nature. And that state can be attained only when we know that now we don't know the true nature. Otherwise, you see, we all know, knowledge is not going to come from somewhere else. Knowledge is already there with us. But we are not aware of that. Why? Because of ignorance. So that ignorance has to be removed. So how will, and Shankaracharya also never talks about anything that is not based on the ideal of Atman. Their way of presenting it may be different because of the time they were born, because of the challenges they faced. When Shankaracharya came, he had to face the challenge of so many people who were ritualists and so many Buddhists. He had to face that challenge. Swamiji talks about that. Means people who had high ideal of Buddhism, which was totally not practical. Too high an ideal is not practical. So Shankaracharya, and so much of corruption had entered, Shankaracharya had to counter them. And so he talks of all these things. Before that, Mimamsakas, they came and they introduced the Vedic sacrifice ideal, so to counter the Buddhist influx of corruption, etc. When Swamiji came, that is not what Sri Ramakrishna or Swamiji countered. Sri Ramakrishna and Swamiji, they countered an influx of Western thought, an influx of total atheistic tendency, an influx of total going away of belief in our own tradition, means in Indian tradition or Sanatana Dharma. That is what they countered. And so their method was different. But as Nivedita, if you read Nivedita, you will find that she says over and again that master, she calls Swamiji as master. The master never said anything other than Atman, other than God, other than renunciation. Swamiji was never talking about, though apparently when we read his books or on the face level or surface level, it might seem, oh, Swamiji has talked about Karma Yoga, etc. But if you read properly and in depth, you understand that Swamiji is talking only about God, only about spirituality. Just like its master, he never talked about, Sri Ramakrishna never you will find he is talking about anything other than God. He is never talking about it. So that third stage which you are talking about is exactly what all these people are talking about. That is exactly what we have to attain. But here the problem is not that. The problem is, first we have to understand that the stage we are in, or most of us are, is a stage of ignorance. You see, our problem is not that we don't know that there is a stage of knowledge of Brahman. The problem is most of us are sure that we are in a better stage. That has to be removed. The ignorance about ignorance has to go away. See, we are not aware of ignorance. That's the problem. So that is why Shankaracharya tells this, and that is why Swamiji, what did Swamiji say? Swamiji says that you, see, same thing. He says you should be courageous, you should be strong. Why? Because of the ideal of Atman. Swamiji immediately takes everything. You read lectures from Colombo to Almora, on the face of it, it appears as though Swamiji is giving a clarion call to the nation, get up, etc. Call to the nation, we also, that book, etc. and to increase self-confidence. But if you read properly, you will understand Swamiji is taking everything to the ideal of Atman. If you know that I am not the body, I am not the mind, if you know that I am the Atman, then automatically you don't, whom will you fear? You will have ultimate strength. So that is the thing. So here, you see the third stage, or in Mandukya Upanishad, where we talk about Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, we talk about the state of Turiya, the fourth state. The fourth state is what we should attain. Everyone is talking about that state. But the point is, do we know, or are we aware that the state we are in now is a state of ignorance? That's the point. That is why Shankaracharya is making so much of adhyasa. First we should understand that we are now in a state which, and I think in a different manner, Swamiji also critiques. You see, Swamiji goes abroad, he criticizes the American culture. He tells them their better things and he critiques them. When he is in India, he criticizes or critiques the Indian culture, he says jealousy is the bane of this nation, etc., etc. But only Swamiji can do that, because Swamiji is one with whatever culture he is talking about. When he is talking about the Americans, he is one with the Americans. So the Americans don't take offense to that, because they know he is one of us. When Swamiji comes to India and talks about, he goes to Chennai and he says, is there not enough water in the ocean to drown you, your gowns, diplomas, etc.? So they don't take offense to that, because they know that Swamiji is our own. You see, so getting identified with the ultimate truth, Swamiji sees in different lights, different places. Why does he criticize? Because unless he criticizes, unless he tells us, we will not be aware of the state we are in. That's the point.